Okay.
Attention, please.
Yo. 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 Yo.
Welcome to your inspirational astrology horoscope for Tuesday. I forgot if it was Monday or Tuesday. Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. I'm Astrologer Dave Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, I didn't make a post because I'm not on YouTube much. I mean, I still do show up, but it was my 12 years doing a video every day. I was able to count through the 12 years, and in all 12 years, I missed close to I think it's 8 to 7 or 8, maybe 9, was stretching it, horoscope. So, and that was due to sickness. And I think one time I didn't have internet. So, for those that are on YouTube and you're not on High Vibe, which I suggest that you are, I appreciate you still. Of course, I'm sorry I can't do spiritual dance music, which will be tonight. But I do have it now on Twitch. So you can find my Twitch, of course, on my YouTube community tab. I'll put that link up. Or just be on High Vibe. I'm doing sun sign horoscopes and then doing spiritual dance music. And I just finished deep astrology. Last announcement before I go into this full moon in Scorpio horoscope, which, trust me, this is a big one. I just did a new style of a workshop and lecture all in one. I know how much people love looking at their charts. Of course, I teach school every week here on High Vibe if you're a premium member, or you can buy schools individually. But, mixing that energy that people want to understand in their chart with my lecture style of prediction and how to apply it not only in the world, but also mundane-wise, but in your own chart. It's available now for download. You can get the recording of the live stream that was on Friday, and for the live studio audience that was here at the High Vibe TV studios, just go to highvibe.tv, click on Destiny Unleashed. And this is about, for those that are truly feel like light workers, that this is the most prominent time ever for the dark trying to take out the light, and how to really make sure that you let this destiny truly go in your life and you don't get caught up in crazy traps, especially, or fail to understand what's really going on in your own chart and in the mundane, from these eclipses that we just had to the next set of eclipses. And with the big changes happening and the big conjunction of Jupiter Uranus, but also Jupiter coming into Gemini, the squares to Saturn, the very unique events when things are going to play good and where things are really going to go off and weird. And also reminding you that Pluto's not done with Capricorn yet. So you can still think that you're going to the store, but you left the baby in the freaking car. So if you're going to still, right now at this moment, I'm going wherever I want to go, we're going back to Capricorn whether you like it or not. All right, so let's start with this horoscope. Well, welcome everyone. I've changed. I just got to say that. From this Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, but even more so over the year. It's been a year of reminding, I think, not just our own selves, but just anybody who really does follow astrology. We all are reminding each other that astrology is perfect, right? This has not been a year that has played normal. If anything, it's been shattering, where people follow the mundane calendar system and so forth of, well, it's a new year, so I should feel this way. These are weird events. These are really weird times. I called this year the year of the cosmic phenomena. And we're at a place after that set of eclipses that we just had, especially that total solar eclipse conjunct Chiron in Aries, at the exaltation position of the sun, literally by degree in Aries. This full moon in Scorpio does bridge us to what I'm calling the ultimate trap and ability to self-destruct the most beautiful things in your life. Now, I want to say this before I go into the chart and I show it. I want to tell you this on camera. These are good things that have happened. Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus have made their conjunction. It's just one conjunction. Remember the last time we had Jupiter, Uranus? I didn't hear a lot of people talk about it. I was trying to in other people's comments, although, you know, who had the fire out there? I was so happy that Steve Judd and Rick Levine did a talk. They had everything they said was spot on, and there was thousands of people. All of us were gathered, and I was so happy to see both of them connect, and they never had connected before. So it was awesome. That was where the fire that I saw for the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction was, and just tips off to everybody that was part of that special moment where it was conjuncting. They both were conjuncting. But I want to remind people that the last one was 3 times. It was 0 degrees Aries, and then it went back into Pisces. And so this one's just a really quick one. It's just happened. But with this energy now in Taurus, with the sun that's just squared Pluto, with this full moon coming after a total solar eclipse, and this one happens to be in Scorpio, things could look too good, and we're going to be talking about that. And this is going to be really important about understanding value and really understanding that the shadow that you want, especially emotionally wise, is not your friend. So let's go into this, because this is where there's a lot. Well, and you know what? I'm going to show you why I chose the thumbnail that I did, because if you're not on High Vibe, you're missing out, because I do visuals for the horoscopes weekly for all the different shows to help people see it. That's been the beauty. That's one of the positive parts of AI. So I'm sure you saw this was the thumbnail, and you're probably like, what is this chick doing with this bull? Well, this full moon in Scorpio energy is reminding yourself about understanding your worth and your value and how beautiful life is around you. And the only way to use this Jupiter Uranus and to build on and to grow and to experience is by what you have, and to stay sustainable. You know, this full moon in Scorpio is going to try and infect us. Here's the other version of I have a desire, I have a want, I want, and it's all primed up with the square to Pluto in Aquarius, which, remember, Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. The moon is at fall in Scorpio. And this is where, to me, it's like Maleficent trying to come in and convince that value of yourself, the sustainable, beautiful things, and trying to almost come in and seduce you into very Aquarian, Pluto, discarding, let me just let go of this. And all the TikTok astrologers saying Jupiter Uranus, this is time to just let go of everything in your life. It's just like, what? This is Taurus. Let's just let the astrologer of a horoscope every day -7 or 8 or 9, whatever the fuck it is. It's thousands a day. Okay? Remind you, it's Taurus. I don't care if it's Uranus in there. I don't care if it's anything, even with the dispositing aspects. It's Taurus. You won't get shit by looking outside. It's within. And so there's a duality here. Like, you can live this full moon as the valuable one that is patient and understanding that we're here to receive and take with what we already have and keep moving on. I said this actually on the blog of my wife's this weekend when we were out. I told people through that blog, I said, you already have the phone that will make the great thing possible. You already have the pen and the paper that will make the best book. You already have what you think you don't have is where your self-destruction is, okay, on this full moon. And I'll show you that in the chart. But I just wanted to give you that visual of, like, especially, you know, it's not like you every day see a Scorpio kind of infection in a Taurus bull, okay? This is what I'm the most concerned about, especially if you understand the astrology of this whole week. So, now, this was the one I did for Deep Astrology. It's very similar, but you can see that Scorpion at the top of the mountain there with that full moon. They're not looking at it. They're releasing that. There was another one I did, but here we go. This full moon happening exactly by almost exact, but by 1 degree off. Remember that the lunar eclipse of last eclipse cycle, the one in the fall, was a lunar eclipse in Taurus at 5 degrees. Here we are with just a normal full moon in Scorpio at 4 degrees. So we're in the flip now. And remember, this is a moon at its fall position. Don't forget about that. This is the worst place for the moon. The moon does not like to be here. It is at fall. It is at -4. It is not a happy full moon. Well, how do you look at that? That unhappiness is from when you feel that something outside you need to have emotionally in order to feel good. There's way too many disruptive elements with Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, being in Aquarius now. The last time you could have experienced a full moon in Scorpio square the ruler of the sign of Scorpio was if you were alive during Pluto and Leo, which ended in 1957. So, and that was in Leo. That's different than Aquarius, where this becomes more about disconnecting. And this idea with Jupiter, Uranus, and Taurus is not so much about disconnecting. Sure, there are things that we need to move through and shift with, but it's not about a complete discard right away, right? Because then you go back to nothing, okay? So this is where, especially with Venus, that's not only the ruler of Taurus, but also Libra, where the South Node is, and it's already in its detriment, is conjuncting Eris, and that dark feminine Trojan horse energy can be your ego with some sort of glitzy or glammy feeling that you want to have really quick on this full moon. And this full moon's not going to just be on this Tuesday on the 23rd of April. It's going to play out even the 24th, and as we come into the 25th, and then through the rest of this week. Because of the fact that this full moon in Scorpio happens early on in Scorpio, and it's opposing the sun for Taurus. We also have Venus that just was with Chiron, right? So it could be like, well, okay, I went through some you either went through healing and you're satisfied and you're ready to go see the adventure and understanding that we need to be better appraisers. It's Taurus. Have a better understanding of opportunities, not because there is no such thing as an opportunity when it comes to, oh, you know what? In my life, I'm going to get rid of something. I'm going to end something, and that's going to be an opportunity. You're already looking at it incorrectly. In Scorpio, it doesn't look at the death as the opportunity for life. It looks at endings, especially Moon in Scorpio, as I am upset. I am pissed. I am frustrated. I am jealous. I am angry. It doesn't think about emotionally, oh, what's on the other side? It only wants to do its shadow. And with the square to Pluto, we have to remember that this being an Aquarius, it's really easy to just manipulate ourselves into believing that there is something in the future, or that this is going to change my life instantly, and that this is going to disrupt in a positive way. There is no positive disruption in this one. It's about sustainability. And yes, the full moon does bring up survival energy, but is it really that dire? Anything that is really dire, or that you're feeling that you need to make some sort of move, especially with Mars in Pisces, by the way, with Neptune, the ruler, and it's going full speed into Neptune this week. By this weekend, we're going to see a dead conjunction to Mars and Neptune. The ego in full illusion or full surrender and moving through the most spiritual, true energy, not the delusion. And especially with Mercury that is still retrograde, it starts its station the day after this full moon, and then we'll station direct on the 25th early on the West Coast here and be conjunct the North Node. But of course, it already made its conjunction with the North Node fully. So, there's a lot still to understand before you just fucking do it. All right. And this is where self-destruction comes up with Venus and Eris. And this is also where energy from the dark can try to come in and entice you or manipulate you. And this is about understanding your boundaries, Scorpio, but having a better understanding of the utility of things in your life. So if you don't know what that word means, it's like, okay, what is useful that actually works? Is this a utility? And this is not about destroying those things. This is also kind of like the salesman that sells you on something, but, oh, okay, I'm going to buy it right away without looking at all of the options, right? Like, this is a time to remember that, yes, activations are happening like crazy, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to make a move. If anything, the universe is setting us up for amazing moves next week. When Mars comes into Aries and when Venus comes into Taurus by the end of this weekend, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But another way to look at it, as Venus is going to fast after this full moon, come to the end of Aries and then finally ingress into Taurus where it's at its home sign. And then, of course, by Tuesday next week, a week from now, when then Mars ingresses into Aries, right before the Pluto retrograde, that Venus is going to have to square Pluto, right? So we're already seeing a slight beginning to that Venus square Pluto. You will not be able to return what you discarded. You will never be able to get back what you discarded, right? This isn't like, oh, let me just go for what I want, right? This is about understanding that you already have all the things that you wanted. It's about making them better and growing to the next level. And that takes the things that you already have, right? And finding that value, not getting seduced into your shadow. And that's really easy with Mars about to approach Neptune, and especially Venus and Aries conjunct Eris. And then Saturn. Saturn finishing out on this full moon in a quincunx to the south node. Now, why is that important? Well, since you YouTubers don't get a lot from me on here, this is what I've been talking about. You've already been seeing Saturn make a quincunx to the south node. So anything in the illusionary field that we hope for, that we want to be the beauty of our life, is not happening. Thank God. It's actually, I think it's a good alignment. Keeps us from doing stupid shit, or sometimes it does the opposite for some people, where it makes them just feel the wrath of them unhappy that the illusion won't happen in their life, and they will do whatever they take to do it. But Neptune, remember when the nodes came in? Well, Neptune's been at these late degrees of Pisces, so that was in quincunx to the south node in Libra. Then you also had Pluto that was at the end of Capricorn at the beginning of this year and was squaring the south node. And then you had Uranus already just a couple months ago that was in quincunx to the south node. So these have been all the big players that have been in quincunx to this south node. And even Mercury retrograde is in opposition to this south node. This is not the time to buy some crazy illusion because your shadow, deep want or need, which is actually more of desperation, because you're empty. You don't have worth in yourself, right? There is no quick fix. And we also have to remember that Pluto at 2 degrees here is already starting to make, now that Saturn's at 15, it'll go to 16 the day after. And we're going to see Saturn at 16 most this week. That's only 44 degrees apart. That semi-square is approaching semi-square. And that's 44 degrees ago that we saw Saturn Pluto make their conjunction on January 12th. That changed the world forever in 2020, right? So, yeah, we're going to be turning a corner here coming into 2025 because Saturn's going to retrograde this year and Pluto's going to retrograde back into Capricorn. But, we're starting to feel like there are big turning points ahead to finally leave some of that energy that's been around there. But at the same token, it also brings up a lot of Saturn-Pluto's energy. And this would be the worst time in your life to destroy the most beautiful things based off control of your soul in a kind of way, or maybe even trying to do what you're getting in the way of, basically the divine. You're getting in the way of how the divine's going to lay things out here. This is a time to be the observer, with Mercury hovering over that north node and not direct, but starting to station, yes, but it's still retrograde. And it's still got a conjunct Chiron one more time. This is where things that, like, weird shit starts to show up. That you just, that disguises itself as beautiful or good, or, oh, this will make me feel better. No, it won't. No, it won't. It's about understanding how to trust what you already have. Meaning, keep investing in the power of the value within yourself. It's like Eckhart Tolle, the power of now. Like, did you even notice the tree that you're sitting down on? Or are you just so lost in your scorpionic emotions, square Pluto and Aquarius, trying to find a solution, trying to find some sort of disconnect? How do I get out of this? Like, whoa. the universe will kick out bad things. If you're trying to kick the football out of this whole thing, you're kicking good things out, okay? This is a time where it's probably dealing with instability within your emotional self and no emotional regulation, especially because it's a full moon in Scorpio. Pluto's in square to it, and that is disrupting all of the emotional energies, especially when you become desperate or emotionally depressed, shadowed out, envy, unhappy with where you're at. And that also means it's feeding the ego, because this is a North Node in Aries. This is Chiron in Aries. This is Mercury retrograde in Aries. This is Venus in Aries. That's not a really powerful, strong lineup. It's not. Okay? This is a lineup that's saying, like, this ego needs a lot of reconstruction. And that reconstruction is healing those crazy ideas that you have of who you think you should be. And especially with Saturn and quincunx to the South Node here, it's like, yo, these are illusions that you think it's more beautiful in the craziness of your imagination when the grass is not greener on the other side when you're in the greenest grass. It's just whether or not you're actually better at understanding things, and as they come, you know, the best things in life aren't free. The best things in life take time. The best things in life, you make sure that you appraise them. You just, unless you want to be a pawn shop person and just like, guess what? Anybody who's coming in with something, they're going to try and sell it. Like, oh, this is my grandma's this, right? Of course, if you're a smart pawn shop, you'd be like, well, let me see. Because the person who's bringing it in, they don't give a fuck about it. They're ready to discard it. Why? Because they have something else they think is better. And guaranteed that that thing they think is better is never what it is. And also, if you're having issues, because this does deal with monetary money, like if you're having issues with manifestation or some sort of money situation, trust that it's going to turn a corner here by how much you're applying your skills into things, how much you need to utilize what you have. It's not about, oh my God, will this person give me a job? Where is that thing out there in the world? Especially coming into next week, right? I know it's crazy because this week there's massive activations. And it feels, especially when Mercury stations direct, that everything is going to be direct again. But Pluto's going to retrograde at the beginning of May, right away. So, yeah, it feels like we need to go now. Well, no, this is about knowing the good shit. And that's a Mercury retrograde on top of the North Node. That could also be destined stupidity. And also it can be blind to the ideas, right? We can actually be blinded by our ideas. We can also take an idea too literally that might not be an idea that even is serious, right? Especially in opposition to the South Node. So there's a lot of self-manipulation going on ourselves. And also there's forces outside, because that's what always Pluto or Scorpio deals with, that really is seeing from a place of lack, trying to come after people or come after your sensitivities with Mars and Neptune here, even to act empathetically to try and Venus, Eris, try and Trojan horse its way in and kind of like make you feel good or play with your ego, or you play with your own ego and just like, I want to feel cool, so I'm going to let this energy in. You know, this is where we want to really make sure that we understand and take the time to make the appraisals in our life. We want to see if there's actually a use case. And if you're in that place of wanting to discard things, I would ask yourself, what is it around you that makes it so bad? Because if you're in a discarding place, that means that there's something going on with you not looking at the beauty that surrounds you. The universe has already kicked out bad things. Right now, this is the dark trying to make its way in. So I'm making sure that you're not the vessel for that. Again, I will show you the visual of that. This is the visual of somebody who has been taken over by this. I need to get rid of it and do that. And that's what the dark does. It's like a leech, right? It's going to come in and try and have you destroy the beauty that surrounds you for some other entity's gain. Or are you not looking at it and you know your worth, you know your value? And that's why I have it as the white bull, right? The prized bull. And you're moving forward and you're open to things, yes, but it's about appraising things. The best appraise, the best understand the value. And I just gotta say, to close this up, this is a week to where there's still a lot of great things that can come in, but it's about making sure that, you know what, it's okay for you to take the time to analyze. Yeah, there's still going to be analyzation with Mercury on the North Node, with Pluto and Aquarius and square to this. Even with the moon in Scorpio, if you just see the following day, we're going to see it start making quincunxes to that North Node in Mercury, and then you're going to start seeing it. I call this. I shouldn't be giving away my deep astrology, but yeah, then the moon's going to oppose that Jupiter Uranus. You're not going to be able to get rid of some of the things you could take on, especially let's say you're single out there, or let's say you do something stupid too and you just take on some new relationship, no matter what your status is. You know, you're not going to be able to just discard it. This is where the crazy person comes in and doesn't want to let go. Remember, if you're somebody who's been watching me, I have told you that Pluto in Aquarius it takes on people and commitments that you can't get rid of. Right? So, especially right now, this could be, whether you're discarding or taking on something, it could be too hard to shake off. This isn't where you can just go return it at the store. Right? So you got to be careful, because there is no taking back the energies that you do. Especially, we need compassion right now. This Mars and Neptune needs to wash itself clean of its ego. And that's all of our egos right now need to go through a massive wash. Let go of what you are trying to win at and win an argument over, debate, or freak out over. Like, let it go. Go with the beautiful shit's right in front of you. Just keep doing that. This is about understanding your value and understanding that we are going to go to new places. We all have to do things in a different way, but that doesn't mean you discard. I am sick and tired of all. No wonder TikTok's going to be banned. Do you think that the universe is doing that because of this? No, the universe does. Everybody needs to start paying attention again in the universe. The universe does things for a reason. Stop looking at the people or whatever. There's a reason why the universe is putting out the signal for us to realize that TikTok's going to be banned probably, or they're going to sell it somewhere else, and that means all that data is being used for something else. There's a reason why. All TikTok astrologers are like, you'll probably lose something. Da, 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 da. Oh, they want you. And maybe they are taken over by the dark. Or using it for their own selfish gain, for their own thing. Right? Because maybe they want somebody that they know watches them to fucking do just that. I'm not that kind of person. All right? And this is where we're at right now. The dark is going to try and manipulate all of your shadowed emotions, all of your feelings, to feel like you can replace beautiful things with things that look beautiful that are not. In order for you to find, you found the thing. Square Pluto in Aquarius. You've been a detective and you found it. No, stop playing detective looking for a solution. You are the solution. The solution is how well you work with others that understand that they are committed and that are good people, and that are people that understand values and put value and appreciation before selfish gain, that put it before their own shadowed emotional desires. That's a hard world when this world is being led by greed, and this world is being led right now by people who just want instant gratification to make themselves feel good really quick. But that's where, be an OG spiritual light worker gangster right now. Know your worth and value, and know there's nothing out there that will disrupt or could be sold to you and manipulating you, or you manipulating yourself to self-destruct, because then you add on top of it, this Saturn, Mars, and Neptune is at the end of Pisces, especially Mars and Neptune. This is the highest stakes of the game of falling into traps, falling into prisons, falling into hospitals, falling into erotic, crazy ideas, and also losing yourself. If you just got in a relationship, fucking crazy, right? What are you doing right now, right? Oh, you're thinking of getting into a new one? Make sure they really have the goods. You want to leave one? What's really going on with you? What's really happening? Are you really assessing things from a place of value, or because is there something more that you're looking for that you haven't been addressing probably in your life, and you have to look at, like, are you just looking for a quick fix that's really just toxicity and the poison coming in that turns you into that kind of a bull? So anyway, I know that, well, that's a lot. Most people on here don't give a lot, but just even this Eros in Gemini here, like, wait for Mercury to come direct. Wait for this Mars to come over Neptune, and let's wait till that arrow starts to make that nice sextile over to Mercury. Mercury's going to be here at 16 degrees, go to 15 for a second on the north, then come back to 16 for a week. Okay? This is not the time, oh my God, I found the idea of my love of the new thing or whatever. And this is where discarding things in Taurus, it lasts forever. World War II happened in the middle of this transit of Jupiter-Uranus, remember, in Taurus. But also at the same time, the same Mars retrograde we had at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, that finished in Gemini. And so many crazy ideas were run amok, right? From the V2 rocket that never did work for Germany, but did go over to America eventually, or even that was when Churchill was taking amphetamines and Hitler was injecting intravenously methamphetamine. Okay? So you have to remember, like, with bull semen injections, this is definitely a moment in your life to be grounded, understand what you're doing, and, take yourself back to the 2014 time when we had the North Node in Scorpio with Saturn, and when we were in the South Node in Taurus. Like, that was a time for you to be like, you know what? Let me go explore my desires. Let me go see what's down in that hole. Right now, what's down in that hole is the biggest trap of your whole life that you can never take back. You can never get back. You can't get it back. Right now, whatever you discard, maybe those TikTok astrologers are right. You'll lose something forever. Just how they'll probably lose TikTok forever. See what I mean? That there's just some things that in life that, the writing is already on the wall of what's great. Don't be sold on something that's instant and you think will change everything. Right now, that's the fooling of this full moon square Pluto. Right? This is the fool that is falling for thinking it's Jupiter and Uranus. You know how it's Jupiter and Uranus? It has sustainability. It's grounded, and it takes time. And at the same time, no matter what you look at it, it doesn't disrupt your life. It adds to it. And it's also patient enough to wait till the energy gets stronger and is fully activated, which these energies this week will do. But by next week, we can really say, with all planets direct, with Mercury finally moving, and also with Mars that will ingress into Aries and Venus into Taurus, both the dispositing aspects of these nodes, Mars and Venus, North Node Aries, South Node Libra, will be in domicile. So this is the full moon to not be the fool, which really would be, something that you would see that they write stupid rap songs about, and being an idiot and fucking, people that really just are out for their own needs and wants that aren't really of value at all and are willing to just pawn shop it. And if you're on the other side of that, remember that people are just showing themselves that they just don't take seriously their own value and don't take it personally. I know that's hard. right? And keep moving through. You don't need to go do it. Let me get back or figure it out or just, it's that simple point. There's people now, we're in a game now where it's like, we're not messing around with anything anymore that doesn't actually value and see things from the full perspective. You know, it's one thing to see things from one belief part of your spectrum. You got to look at the whole spectrum. You got to look at all the different angles, right? That'd be like saying, like, you know, when you look at nature, well, I only like trees. It's like, well, you don't like flowers, you don't like water, you don't like this, you don't like that, you don't like that. It's like, no, I don't value this place because I only like that. I only value this. We need to keep those values and those gratitude aspects of what we already have. And remember, it was 12 years ago that it was during this Jupiter side of the transit and all this stuff that when I had nothing in my life but a fucking shitty compact laptop that was 2 years old from 2010, and I had been doing videos and, you know, little videos here and there, and fucking I finally committed saying, you know, like the hinge was broken and I'm going to do a daily horoscope every day. I had nothing to my name left at all. I had sold everything on Craigslist in 2010. I didn't have much at all. We're talking about like fucking shit. And even my car couldn't pass smog, and I had already been through the repo and all that shit. Okay, like, and that laptop and me talking to you all on YouTube here for the last 12 years has been the most expansive 12 years of my whole entire life. I've done things that literally every astrologer in the world still hasn't been able to do. I've been able to create and go on journeys and do things that people still watch me just because they go, what was that crazy motherfucker, the Leo King, doing next? And I didn't have some big investor. I had nothing but just gratitude for the people around me in my time in my life that believed in me. But the main thing was I had to believe in myself, and I had to know that value within myself and not be afraid to actually utilize what I had. And that's what I had. And I did. You know, that's why you saw me outside, because I didn't even have the lights. You know, the kitchen light wasn't good enough. It made me look weird. So I went outside, and I would have to have enough battery. If you remember PCs back in 2011 and 2010, it would last like 20 minutes. Back on Windows Vista. So, and I used Microsoft fucking stupid Movie Maker for all those videos for years. And I appreciate those that found me from all that, you know. But, you know, Jupiter just hit my midheaven just like hours ago. So I'm back to that place I was. But, you know, that's why I've been building the spiritual network. Do you see what's out there now? All right, let's see what's in the cards. I'm going to pull a couple tarot, and then I have a Hay House out in England sent me a new deck called the Golden Futures Oracle by Diana Cooper. So I'll be pulling one of those. And I don't get paid for this or anything. They just send me decks. So I'm grateful for that, right? Why would I go out and be Dorian Virtue and talk shit on Hay House, right? Like, I don't even have a contract with them or anything, or a book or anything, but they send me it still from Deep Love Tarot, right? Like, because number one tarot video of all time. Still, no tarot reading has gotten over 1 million views. So, all righty. And you know what? Maybe that's a good lesson for you. Sure, I could probably do Deep Love Tarot again. Then I might. And I know the value of that show. And I know that where I'm at, my value. I've been focusing on being a dad now in my life. A new chapter. And it's already a lot to do what I got to do just to do that. Right? I already know the values of these dailies, because there is nobody else that's done a daily video every day for astrology for 12 years. There is nobody that's done it that long every day. So that's why I have my own networking app. That's where you get it every day. That's where you get all the other content. And that's why I just put little things on here. Because, it's not like I am discarding you. It's more like I just put my energy where the value is. It's worth something. It's not. And I'm okay with that. Like, I could go and be doing this for fame or for fortune or something and just go back out there and do Deep Love Tarot or Hay House and all of them. They just send me decks all the time because they want those decks seen on that show. I got lucky in my life to that kind of place. How do you think I got all those decks? Do you think I went out and bought them? And you know what? I know the value of that show, that when I'm in the right place or when there's the right time and the right energy and I have the right help to help me, because there's a lot with that show. That show took 3 hours every Monday to do. Craig and I, or Brian and I, we'd do it. And then it's a 3-hour show, and then to tear it down to get ready for the other shows on High Vibe. It literally was a 7 to 8 hour ordeal every Monday for all those years. And you know what? It was using cameras I already had. We didn't go buy new things. It was already what we had. And everything I can tell you that's good in life comes from what you already have, and whether you're doing something and being of utility. Stop looking for something outside to change yourself. It ain't. It's just going to bring you more problems. And you're going to probably want to discard it anyway. All right. What do we got here? 5 of Cups reversed. I mean, honestly, I love seeing this card because, well, there's stuff in life that doesn't work out. But, I feel like those things have already passed. But if there's the residual energy, I think, going around, like something bad's happening or there's some sort of weird energy. No, this is just everything's a fucking phenomenon this year. Nothing is running normal. And everything, right, when you think it's about to do something, then it won't. And, get out of that energy of being in that place of despair or even just melancholy about things. Start to focus on the things you have and get excited for creating. Get excited for those things. Stop also focusing on things that have been way down the river for a long time that aren't even thinking about you anymore. And then we got a King of Cups reverse. So I talked about that emotional energy, especially, not having a secure emotional energy is not going to be good during this time. This King of Cups reverse is saying, especially I think because that 5 of Cups reverse is like, yo, all right, things have happened. A long time ago, even maybe, let them go. Don't let those kind of things disrupt to try and fill your need. Right now, this is where having a dysregulation emotionally is just going to be based off wanting something to fill you up quick. And even a King of Cups won't just fill its cup off just some random cup, especially from a 5 of Cups, right? When somebody's in a 5 of Cups energy, even if it is reversed, it don't matter. They're still wearing the wound. They're still wearing the emotional trauma, right? All over themselves. And it can be really easy right now to just like try and trauma bond or try and find some sort of energy that makes you feel like, well, at least I'm not alone in this weird feeling. Well, you can also not be alone in a weird feeling in a place of value and with people who have self-worth and with people who have the energy to understand that it takes creation and takes the things that you have and being willing to find others that are willing to not sacrifice, but willing to commit that same alignment of understanding of gratitude, that same alignment of understanding, you know what, I know you have value within yourself, so I know you'll show up. I know you'll show up when you need to, but also mixed with the compassion of understanding that nothing is perfect, but at least I know that you're a reliable person. The main thing right now is reliability. And it's not about what's not reliable on the outside. It's about your test on whether you are reliable within yourself. That's all you need to focus on. Because then the energy around you that's reliable will come to you and stay with you because you're a reliable frequency. If you're going to go out there right now and try and, where is the unreliable energy? Guess what? That means you're unreliable. That's what you're looking for right now. All right, let's see what oracle we picked from this Golden Future. They're literally like weird cards about the future and shit. I'll be honest, I haven't really used them, I think, except once last week or 2 weeks ago on High Vibe for a sec. And some of them I was like, what is this? So it's kind of like a crazy, wild oracle deck. So we'll see. Wow, that's great. And you know what's crazy? This was massive shuffled. So one, but I don't even know how this order goes. But one, the population sees your opportunities. There's like this weird mirror though that they're all kind of going through. But you know what's funny? The population sees your opportunities. I would say, oh, that is so weird. It's got like spirits coming and it's like kind of creepy because they're all like ascending. I would say, yeah, there's an ascending energy here. There's a butterfly in it, so I don't think there's any harm to this, but it is kind of spinning into some weird places. I would say, again, it's not about seizing opportunities for your own self. It's about seizing opportunities that are part of your ascension, that are part of the collective. And that, again, you would still, before you just walk through this thing, because it does look like it's like a line of people ready to go into the fucking, I don't know, God knows where, and then ascending. You want to make sure that you're, you know, who is this person? How is this? Is this going to be good for the collective? Let's see the last one. We'll pick one more. Angels, ask the angels, 28. So ask the angels if it's good energy, or you know what? I bet you the angels are going to say to you this week, do you need to seize an opportunity? The best energy comes to you and taking your time to see the value in things. Or are you just a stupid and cheap slut, male, female, or whatever you identify as, like for just anything of life, not even just love or relationships, just about anything. Don't be that. This is Taurus on the extreme and Taurus on the test of how well, especially we've got weeks away until we start to see that Sun-Jupiter conjunction with Uranus. So, you know, I know it's been a long road this year to even feel like everything's fully kickstarting and going in a direction. Take your time. It's okay. You're not missing out, because the best things in life you don't miss out on because you're open and available and reliable enough to be there. I appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Make sure that you get that awesome workshop that I did / lecture. It's like nothing else. If you really are a light worker and you're somebody out there who doesn't want to get caught up into these crazy things that the universe is going to throw at us and get all of us light workers off the path in your chart, and it's a 4.5 hour to 5 lecture, and then there's Q&A from tons of people that were in studio and so forth. It's all right here. You can get it on highvibe.tv. It's only $24. Just go to highvibe.tv and you can watch it on any of the apps. You don't even have to be a subscriber, and you can watch it on any app, or you can watch it on your iPhone, Android apps, or you can watch it on the computer. You can watch it everywhere, and we have so many updates. And of course we have the community, but you got to be a subscriber to be on our social network with where you can post your own videos, do everything, and talk with everybody. And it's not like one of those stupid communities that they say it's a community, but it's really not. You make your own posts, you put up your own videos, you put up your own pictures, all of it. We're the first astrology spiritual social media network, so been for a while. A lot of people are trying to say they are, but they ain't. I appreciate you all. Thanks so much. Much love. Oh yeah, and spiritual dance music tonight on my Twitch and or High Vibe TV, where there's ever no problems with it. So you just be a subscriber at highvibe.tv, and it's a lot easier that way. I appreciate you all. Much love.
Attention, please.
Yo. Okay.
Attention, please.